Hey gamers, welcome to Pondera Ultimate Gaming. January is wrapping up, and this month has been packed with huge releases like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Dynasty Warriors Origins, and more. With all these Ohale juggernauts dropping, some fantastic FPS games might have slipped under your radar. So today, I'm here to fix that. In this video, we'll go through 20 first-person shooter games released this month, covering boomer shooters, survival horror, and story-rich adventures, some of which deserve way more attention. And hey, if you enjoy discovering hidden gems, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps a lot. All right, enough chit-chat, let's get started. First, we're going to talk about survival horror games. Number 7, Strigoi, the Vampire Legend. First up, we're heading deep into the Carpathian Mountains with Strigoi, a first-person horror shooter where vampires and supernatural horrors lurk in the shadows. You'll explore creepy villages, graveyards, and abandoned castles, solving puzzles and fighting for survival. The game does a great job of creating a tense, semi-open world atmosphere. But let's be real, it's a bit buggy. Some players have reported weird AI glitches, and honestly, it probably should have released in early access first. But if you're into vampire hunting survival horror, this one's worth checking out. Number 6, Noroi Keigo, the Grudge Domain. Noroi Keigo brings Japanese folklore horror into the mix, letting up to 4 players team up in a fight against yokai, ghostly spirits that don't take kindly to trespassers. With an art style inspired by classic Japanese horror manga, Noroi Keigo feels like you've stepped straight into a creepy folktale. Here's the main challenge. You have to manage a supernatural curse that's slowly turning you into a half yokai yourself. Since it's in early access, expect updates to polish things up. But if you love co-op horror with deep lore, this one's a must-try. Number 5, Undead Hunter Part 1. What's worse than zombies? How about zombies, werewolves, and demons all in one gritty FPS survival horror? Undead Hunter throws you into haunted forests, Soviet villages, and abandoned morgues, forcing you to hunt monsters using realistic weapons. The devs promise future updates, including a survival mode where you'll fight hordes of enemies until you drop. It's built on Unreal Engine 5, so it looks fantastic, but keep an eye on the updates. There's potential, but it's not a polished masterpiece just yet. Number 4, Amenti. If you're fascinated by ancient Egypt and love photography-based horror, Amenti is a unique indie gem. You'll explore 5,000-year-old tombs, using a camera to capture paranormal phenomena. The horror starts subtle, with creepy details showing up in your photos before things escalate into full-blown terror. The game is short, but well-crafted. Should you buy it? Yes, but only if it's on sale for $3 or less. Number 3, Carnival of Souls. Imagine a twisted carnival world filled with portals to eerie dimensions, and you're stuck fighting waves of relentless enemies. That's Carnival of Souls, a roguelite FPS that plays like COD zombies, but with a colorful, unsettling horror aesthetic. Every 4 rounds, you fight a boss before getting transported to a new map, which keeps the game feeling fresh. It's fast-paced, challenging, and gets more fun the longer you survive. Number 2, SCP, Fragmented Minds. Yes, we have another SCP game, but Fragmented Minds stands out with AAA-level graphics and disturbing SCP creatures lurking in the shadows. This action survival horror FPS is packed with brutal combat, tough moral decisions, and unsettling anomalies. It's still a work in progress, though. Some enemy designs, the weird-looking fat chicken monsters, feel a bit out of place, but the devs have a roadmap for updates. If they follow through, this could be one of the best SCP games ever made. Number 1, Butcher's Creek. At number 1, we have Butcher's Creek, a gritty, brutal horror FPS that gives serious condemned criminal origins vibes. The story? A troubled loner, obsessed with snuff films, stumbles into an abandoned cabin near Butcher's Creek. What starts as urban exploration quickly turns into a fight for survival against a gang of sadistic killers. Despite being only 3 hours long, the atmosphere is tense, the weapons feel powerful, and every hit lands with brutal crunching sounds. It's a short but intense horror experience, definitely worth playing. The End of the Sun. Before we jump into boomer shooters, let's slow down with The End of the Sun, an incredible narrative-driven game inspired by Slavic mythology. This game is visually stunning, with breathtaking landscapes, eerie shrines, and deep storytelling that makes you think about time, memory, and fate. What struck me most was the underlying message of the game, a poignant reflection on time, memory, and the choices that define us. It's rare to encounter a game that conveys such a deep and heartfelt message while remaining thoroughly engaging. The End of the Sun challenges players to think about life's fleeting nature and the beauty in small, seemingly mundane moments. I cannot recommend The End of the Sun enough to anyone who values games that challenge the mind and touch the soul.
A gift to help in cases like these.
What kind of strange place is this?
There was a path here somewhere. I can't see.
All right, enough slow-burning horror. Let's pick up the pace with some fast, adrenaline-pumping boomer shooters. Number 8, Battle Heights. First up, we've got Battle Heights, a multiplayer heroic fantasy FPS with fast-paced combat and gravity-defying movement. This one's a bit different from your usual boomer shooter. It's not just run and gun, but also cloud hopping, double jumping, and grappling through the sky. The game features classic FPS multiplayer modes like Deathmatch and Team Deathmatch, but also unique ones like Grappling Race and Rug Bomb. If you're looking for an arena shooter with crazy mobility, give this one a shot. Number 7, Metal Savior Black. Developed by a solo dev, Metal Savior Black is a sci-fi boomer shooter where you annihilate an army of nanotech machines trying to wipe out humanity. The gameplay is fast and chaotic, featuring tons of weapons, hidden secrets, and hordes of robotic enemies. The art style is old school, the gunplay is satisfying, and with 10 levels and 24 achievements, there's a decent amount of content. Should you buy it? Yes, but maybe wait for a sale. Number 6, Fleshbound. Fleshbound is a free, fast-paced demon-slaying FPS that feels like a blend of Doom, Quake, and cyberpunk horror. You play as Endo, a prisoner trapped inside a living, organic hellscape known as the Manifold. To escape, you'll use wall running, grappling hooks, and high-speed movement to traverse dangerous landscapes while slaughtering hordes of demons. The game is short, 15 to 20 minutes, but highly replayable, and the splatterpunk art style is super unique. And again, it's free, so why not try it? Number 5, Miss Bullet. It's time to take on terrorists in this fast-paced, cartoonish FPS. Miss Bullet drops you into a city overrun by bad guys, and it's your job to gun them down before they escape. The game is arcade style, meaning it's all about fast reactions, quick aiming, and non-stop action. It's not a deep tactical shooter, but if you love casual, over-the-top FPS fun with a female protagonist, then this one's worth a look. Number 4, Revenge of the Mage. Finally, a boomer shooter where you play as a mage instead of a gun-wielding soldier. Revenge of the Mage puts you in first-person spell-slinging action, fighting through hordes of supernatural enemies in a roguelike setting. You'll unlock 30-plus spells, devastating upgrades, and powerful relics, making each run unique. It's still in early access, but the free demo lets you try it out before buying. Number 3, Gravlord. If you love badass FPS protagonists like Duke Nukem and Doomguy, then Gravelord is going to be right up your alley. You play as a gritty undead warrior, battling through handcrafted levels filled with monsters, traps, and secrets. What makes Gravelord stand out is its spectral shovel, a tool that lets you dash, confuse enemies, and pull off sick mobility tricks mid-combat. You'll also collect tarot cards, which provide powerful buffs and combat options, adding an extra layer of strategy. The game is still in early access, but its final release will have an integrated level editor, so you can create and share your own maps. If you're a true boomer shooter fan, it is definitely worth keeping an eye on. Number 2, Beyond Citadel. If Doom and anime had a baby, it'd be Beyond Citadel. This anime-style retro shooter throws you into fast-paced combat with realistic gunplay, brutal melee combat, and anime violence. The story revolves around the fall of the last human stronghold, and you, the martyr, are the last hope against the apocalypse. Compared to its 2020 prequel, Beyond Citadel is a massive improvement, with better guns, smoother reloading, and more satisfying combat. If you love high-speed FPS action, this one's a must-play. Number 1, Cruel. At number 1, we've got Cruel, a fast, gory, and brutally intense FPS that throws you into a surreal nightmare. You wake up trapped in a mysterious hotel where everything is out to kill you. The game features 10 dynamically shifting levels, where time is your biggest enemy. You have to move fast, fight hard, and adapt to an ever-changing environment. With a pulse-pounding electronic soundtrack, brutal melee combat, and relentless enemies, Cruel is the game to play if you love speedrunning, chaos, and carnage. Now, let's go for VR games. If you have a VR headset, you're in luck. Here are 2 action-packed VR shooters to dive into this month. Number 2, Arcane Age. Arcane Age is a VR action-adventure game set in a biomechanical alien world. You'll use swords, guns, and magical artifacts to fight terrifying creatures in fully physics-based combat. With full-body VR movement, climbing, swimming, and epic boss fights, Arcane Age feels like a true next-gen VR adventure. If you love exploration-based VR games, this one's worth checking out. Number 1, Pirates VR Jolly Roger. Always wanted to become a legendary pirate in VR. Pirates VR Jolly Roger lets you sail the seas, solve puzzles, and fight enemies in an open-world setting. Combat is a bit basic, and climbing mechanics feels repetitive, but the immersive pirate world makes up for it. It's an indie VR game was in development phase for several years. It's not a great game for 2025, but it'll work if you compromise a bit. Buy it on sale, and you'll get your money's worth. Before we wrap up, here are 2 more FPS games worth mentioning. Eximius, Seize the Frontline, Season 4. Ever wanted to mix FPS gameplay with RTS mechanics? Eximius lets you switch between commanding an army and fighting on the front lines yourself in massive 5 versus 5 battles. With base building, squad tactics, and intense combat, this game is a hidden gem if you love both shooters and strategy games. And second one, Level 0 Extraction version 1.0. This game started as one of the most promising asymmetrical PvP/PvE shooters, but unfortunately, recent updates have ruined the experience. What was once a tense survival horror shooter has been bogged down by bad balancing, unnecessary cosmetics, and frustrating mechanics. If the devs fix it, it might be worth playing again, but for now, approach with caution. And that's a wrap on 20 FPS games you might have missed this month. From brutal horror shooters to chaotic boomer shooters and deep narrative adventures, There's something here for every type of FPS fan. So, which game are you playing first? Let me know in the comments below. And hey, if you found this list helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss another gaming roundup. And please forgive me for the AI voice. I'm not a native speaker and practicing the art of commentary, but I experience procrastination when I start to take action. I'll do that soon on next 1 or 2 videos. For now, please bear with the AI. Thanks for watching, stay legendary, and I'll catch you in the next one.